Welcome to Vidyut Vizards. If you're ready to get a whole lot smarter about the powerful forces shaping our world, you know what to do. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives just like this one. All right, let's get right into it. What you're looking at here, this is the official communication, the draft of a blueprint that is literally going to shape India's entire energy future for decades. We're talking about the Draft National Electricity Policy 2026. Now, this isn't just some boring government document. Nope. Think of it as a strategic roadmap for powering a nation of over 1.4 billion people. And to really get what's going on, you have to understand this central conflict, this paradox, right? On one hand, you've got this massive success story. They connected the entire country to the grid. But on the other hand, the whole system is teetering on the brink of a financial crisis. So here's how we're going to tackle this. We'll break it all down into 6 key areas. We'll start with the big problem the policy is trying to solve, and we'll finish up with what it all means for you. Okay, first up, a system under strain. Let's dig into how a truly historic achievement has been masking a really deep-rooted sickness in the system. So the last big policy, the one from 2005, it did something absolutely incredible. It achieved universal electrification. We're talking every village, every willing household now connected to the grid. That fundamental challenge of just getting power to people, for the most part, that's been solved.
But, and this is a huge but, behind that amazing success story lies this absolutely staggering number, 6.9 lakh crore rupees. That is the mountain of debt, the accumulated financial losses of the state-level power distribution companies, what we call the Discoms. And look, these losses aren't just some numbers on a spreadsheet. They create a very real domino effect that ripples through the entire economy. It means higher electricity prices for industries, which hurts our competitiveness. It means you, as a consumer, don't have a choice of supplier. And it means the government has to keep stepping in with these massive bailout packages, which, just scares away private investors.
So that's the problem. And in response to this crisis, the government has laid out this incredibly ambitious new vision for 2047, which is, of course, the year India will celebrate 100 years of independence. And here's the core of that vision, the official statement. It's all about providing reliable 24/7 power. But I want you to pay attention to these key phrases: financially viable and environmentally sustainable. For the first time, they're explicitly linking the financial health of the sector directly to energy security and climate goals. That's a huge shift. So how do they plan to get there? Well, the whole vision is built on these 4 key pillars. First, and most importantly, fix the money problems. Second, make sure electricity is competitively priced to fuel a massive $30 trillion economy. Third, hit those ambitious climate targets. And fourth, actually increase how much electricity each person uses, bringing it up to developed nation levels. All right, let's dive into that first and probably most critical pillar, fixing the financial foundation. This is all about how they plan to stop the financial bleeding. Okay, so what's the game plan? Well, if you look at these reforms, what's really striking is the huge push towards market discipline. We're talking about things like mandating that the price you pay for power actually reflects what it costs to produce, or automatically passing on fuel cost increases. And a big one, slowly getting rid of those cross-subsidies where industries end up paying way more for power, just to keep prices artificially low for others. Okay, so once the finances are hopefully on the path to recovery, the next massive challenge is transforming what kind of energy India actually uses. That brings us to the future energy mix. And wow, this chart right here just brilliantly illustrates the sheer scale of that ambition. Look at this. The plan is for nearly two-thirds of all electricity to come from non-fossil sources by 2047. That is a monumental shift. So how are we going to get there? Well, the policy takes what you could call a portfolio approach. It's not betting on just one horse. Of course, renewables are front and center, but it also recognizes a crucial role for coal to provide what's called baseload power. That's the steady, reliable electricity you need 24/7, no matter what. And on top of that, there's a plan for a major expansion in both nuclear and hydropower. Right. So you've got all this new, diverse energy coming online renewables, nuclear, hydro, but you need a smarter, stronger, more resilient grid to handle it all. And that brings us to the digital backbone of this whole new system. A really key proposal here is the creation of something called a distribution system operator, or a DSO. Now, the best way to think about this is like an air traffic controller, but for the local power grid. Its job is to manage all the complex, real-time comings and goings of power from rooftop solar, from battery storage, and from millions of electric vehicles all plugging in at the same time. And that DSO is just one piece of the puzzle. We're also talking about a massive rollout of smart meters for everyone, a national cybersecurity plan to protect it all, and using technologies like AI to better predict and manage everything. The goal here is to transform the grid from a simple one-way street where power just flows to you into a dynamic two-way digital network where you can also send power back. So we've talked finance, we've talked energy sources, we've talked grids, but what does all this highly technical policy stuff actually mean for you, for the average person, for businesses? Let's get into it. Well, if all of this gets implemented correctly, this is the ultimate payoff. We're talking about a power sector that finally delivers on the promise of reliable 24/7 power, one that supports a massive network of EV chargers, gives you more options for things like rooftop solar, and maybe, just maybe, leads to lower bills as more competition enters the market. It's about a system that's not just sustainable, but is actually responsive to what you, the consumer, really need. And that really is the multi-trillion-dollar question, isn't it? The blueprint is here, and it's incredibly ambitious. But executing it, overcoming decades of financial baggage and political hurdles in every single state, well, that's the real challenge. The plan exists, but will it truly power a developed India by 2047? Only time will tell.